You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the August 14th, 2024 meeting of the LaPorte County Sheriff Merit Commission. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Welcome you to the August 14th, 2024 meeting of the LaPorte County Sheriff's Merit Board. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ma'am, if you would, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Just for the record, as of the start, Ms. Mock is not here, and hopefully she's okay, maybe just looking for a parking place, but we shall see. Did everyone receive the minutes from the July meeting? Are there any corrections that need to be discussed or presented? Hearing none, to have a motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
Have a motion to have a second. Motion seconded. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Good morning, Sheriff.
Morning.
How are you today?
I'm well this morning. Thank you. It's beautiful weather.
It is.
Yeah.
It's someone's birthday month.
It is somebody's birthday month, and
Talking
we've
about
got that at the top of the agenda this morning for that. I'd just like to wish Merit Commissioner Laura Francisconi a very happy birthday. Celebrated her birthday on Monday, so happy birthday. And then this didn't make the agenda, but I would like to send my condolences to Major Pat Cicero and his family. Major Cicero unexpectedly lost his mother on Friday afternoon, so he's out this week, and so I would like to express my condolences to the family. At this time, I'd like to call Captain Andy Heineck to the podium as we have a life-saving presentation to retired Jail Deputy Chuck Krause for his quick action on June 28th.
It's already done.
Okay.
Thank you, Sheriff, members of the Merit Board. I'm here kind of wearing two hats. One is a member of the Sheriff's Department, and two is a member of the Phi Delta Kappa fraternity out of Michigan City. Both two organizations that are deep-rooted in fraternalism and friendship, brotherhood. And so back on June 28th of this year, just before 11 o'clock, there's a group of Phi Delta Kappa members that golf every Friday routinely, and one of those members is Chuck Krause, who's a retired jail deputy from the Sheriff's Department, and another member of the Phi Delta Kappa fraternity was golfing with him, Rick Voss. Both of them are with us here today, and just before they began to tee off, Mr. Voss experienced a cardiac arrest issue. Coming to his aid was retired jail deputy Chuck Krause to perform CPR, and another gentleman ran and grabbed an AED, which we know is in our community a very passionate topic. And according to EMS reports, and some of their administration is here, fire department members, and Mr. Voss's doctor, those efforts by retired Deputy Chuck Krause saved Mr. Voss's life. And the reason I think it's important to recognize this, not only for saving his life, is that Chuck received his CPR certification and training from the Sheriff's Department back in the jail. And those folks, I think it's important that they see how important that is, that although they receive that training here and hopefully never have to use it back in our jail facility, but it carries on outside of the walls of the facility and beyond their time here at the Sheriff's Department. So with that, we have a certificate to present to Chuck. So Chuck, if you can come up here, and Rick. Congratulations. thank you very much for allowing us to recognize them. Like I said, I just think it's very important that the citizens see that we provide training to all of our employees here, and we hope we don't ever have to use it, but whether it's in a grocery store, on a golf course, at a baseball game, wherever that may be, our employees are ready to jump into action.
We'll continue with the agenda. As you can see, our calls for service between June and July increased. Our total calls for service increased by 6%, from 2,116 in the month of June to 2,234 in the month of July. Our crash reports also increased from 68 to 77. Our traffic stops increased from 687 to 706 for the month of July. Our car deer crashes decreased from 17 to 12, and year to date we're still about a 14% decrease from the time we were at in 2023. 2023, that year to date, we answered 17,324 calls compared to this year so far at 14,961. We've seen that 14% decrease throughout the whole year so far. It looks like we're going to probably stay on track as we proceed through the rest of the year with them. Deputy Dylan Heisick completed his FTO training and is doing extremely well. He has been assigned to the afternoon shift where he's been solo now for about the past 4 days, so he's doing extremely well. Deputy Alexander Nolan has started phase 3 of his FTO process. He also is doing extremely well, and his training officers have commented on he's a very intelligent individual, so we're very lucky to get him. He's expected to finish up in about 6 weeks, so we're excited to get that him solo as well too. Deputy Daniel Diaz has begun his training at NILEA, which began July 27th. He is also doing well, and he is expected to graduate in November. Once he gets back from his graduation in November, he'll go through FTO, and after he's done with FTO, we will officially be fully staffed here at the Sheriff's Office, and everybody will be solo. So we are really looking forward to that. It's been a long time coming.
I hope you didn't jinx us.
I probably just did. This year's LaPorte County Fair went off without any major issues. In total, LaPorte County deputies worked a total of 1,051 and a half hours during the 8 days of the fair. If you also remember, we took a greater role and a greater presence at the Sheriff's Office. The fair had used a third-party security vendor to help cover some of the security needs. They came to us at the beginning of the year and asked if we would take over the entire security of the fair, which we did. And it also came to a pretty significant savings for the fair board. We saved the fair board about $20,000 this year in savings of security needs alone. So that's pretty remarkable. And we're very happy for that. I know talking with the fair board members, they were very pleased with the sheriff's deputies out there and the professionalism and all that. So job well done. July 24th, we held our annual budget hearings with the county council. There were no issues with our budget going into 2025. In fact, we saw several increases on several line items, including our 2025 pension obligation that was fully funded for 2025. So we're not going to have to go back and ask for an additional appropriation or anything. So that's really good news. We get that money at the first of the year, which it can be immediately invested and start earning us money. So we're very happy for that. The 15th annual Great Lakes Grand Prix, which was held the first weekend of August, also went off without any issues. Race organizers had asked for a greater presence from the Sheriff's Office over the past several years. There were many compliments from not only received by the race organizers, but also from the racers and the race teams themselves. They really appreciated having the presence from the Sheriff's Office up there, and they both of them, the race organizers and the race teams themselves, really complimented on the professionalism of the deputies. So we're very pleased about that as well. On Friday, August 9th, we held our fourth Friday with Family Express, in which deputies met at the Family Express in Westville from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and enjoyed coffee with the customers. As this has been in the past several events, it's been very well attended, and there was excellent interaction with the public. And being that this past Friday was right before the school, our deputies were handing out school supplies to any kids that had come into the Family Express with their parents. So it was a very great interaction, and we're looking to continue this going forward. So. On Saturday, July 27th, the Bolt for the Heart 5K was held around Stone Lake, in which we set a record attendance of over 400 participants. This was hosted in partnership with the Play for Jake Foundation. As a reminder, all proceeds from this event continue to support the AED program, which allows AEDs in every patrol car within LaPorte County. We obviously have AEDs within all of the patrol cars. Right now, the future proceeds will go to replace the pads and the batteries within the AEDs, and that's what we're updating now. Is all the batteries are starting to be up for change out, and that's where these proceeds will start going to.
What's the life expectancy of those, Sheriff?
It just depends. A lot of it, depends on the heat or the cold outside, but I think we're probably getting about 3 or 4 years out of them. It just depends. Some go through them a little bit faster, and some last a little bit longer. It just depends. Yeah.
Thank you.
As a reminder, back to school for all LaPorte County schools. I know New Prairie started last Thursday. I believe Michigan City started school today, and LaPorte, I believe, starts tomorrow. South Central started today, so we're seeing the school buses out. And I always like to throw this out as a reminder to bring awareness to the public that the school buses are going to be out, children are going to be out, and then we at the Sheriff's Office take a zero tolerance approach to stop our violations. There is absolutely no reason why we cannot stop for the school buses and get these kids on and off the buses in a safe manner. It's almost a daily occurrence that I receive complaints of individuals going around buses who are stopped, and there's no reason for it. Because we take a zero tolerance approach, it's an instant ticket. There's going to be a no warning ticket involved. There is going to be a no second chance. And if you're doing it in a reckless manner, you're going to go to jail for that. We're going to set the tone, and we're going to set the tone hard at the beginning of the year to remind the public to stop for them stop. And I'm not going to apologize for taking such a hard stance on these. It's unnecessary, and there's no reason to be going around these buses when they're stopped and picking up the kids. We do have quite a few letters of accommodation we'll get started on. There's a few of them that are quite lengthy and have some, I'm not going to say personal information, but sensitive information, so I will just touch on a few of those, but there are a few that I would like to read. This one was received from Rosalind Mall from the Wanatah area. It says, "Dear Sheriff Heeg, I hope this note makes it to your way and finds you are well. This is Rosalind Mall from the Wanatah. On Saturday, July 20th, Officer Buford came out to her house after a call was placed by the neighbor, and another officer came out as well. Yes, the neighbors are still at it. However, I wanted to let you know how wonderful we were treated by Officer Buford. He spent time listening to our side. He is a fine young man and deserves to be commended for being a great officer. If there are any promotions coming up, please keep him in mind for the job. Please see it to that he knows that he is thanked and appreciated by Rosalind and Carl Mall." That was a very nice letter that she took the time to take that handwritten letter, and I did forward that to him and his supervisors as well, to let them know so that he was that his actions didn't go unnoticed. And then I have an email here from a detective with the LaPorte Drug Task Force. This is Captain Heineck. I wanted to send a quick email recognizing Detective Gorney for his assistance on our case with our agency is investigating. Detective Corney was listening to a jail phone call in reference to an unrelated investigation when he overheard information from our suspect on the call. Detective Gorney contacted me and provided me information that will be extremely helpful to our investigation. Without Detective Gorney's attention to detail, our agency would not have discovered the information. And again, that just shows you the great job that our men and women do on a daily basis. And then I have another one here from Captain Urbanzik from the Michigan City Police Department. And this is in recognition of Detective Corporal Kay Pliski of the Michigan City Police Department and Detective Alex Pischker from our office. They conducted a joint investigation in which 5 criminal charges against an individual for sex crimes related, in which they were able to make an arrest on. So their attention to detail and their hard work on this case should also be commended. Again, I'm trying not to say too much because of the investigation, but I did want to highlight that the hard work did not go unnoticed as well too. So thank you. And then finally, we have an email or a letter of commendation to Captain Dallas Smythe, Deputy Jake Payne, and Deputy Joe Walker for their actions and their assistance for helping a young female who they encountered on a suicidal juvenile female on the overpass on July 20th. They overheard the radio traffic and everything that was going on. They responded. And because of their actions and the actions of the LaPorte City officers, they truly saved this young girl's life. They held on to this female through the fence to make sure she didn't fall, up to about 20 minutes before the fire department could get there and safely bring her down. Some of the guys were so exhausted from holding on to her for such a long time that they needed medical treatment due to their exhaustion. So great job by the officers who were there. They didn't have to respond to it, but they overheard the call, they responded, and they provided assistance. So again, great job, and like to commend those guys as well. We were to have a pension board meeting this morning, but due to Major Cicero being out with the loss of his mother and Deputy Austin Howell being out with the birth of a child, we asked if we could postpone it till next month. Dilts and Associates was fine with that, so we will not have a pension board meeting after today's meeting. You also see that the Warrant Division, the Jail Division, and the Detective Bureau reports are attached to your report. And that's all I've got for this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the floor? Comments from the floor? No comments from the floor. You got anything to say?
No.
Really? Well, glad you're here and showing us all up wearing a tie and everything. We appreciate that. Ms. Mock?
No, thank you.
Did you find a parking place?
Finally.
Finally, yeah. We were wondering. We were hoping you were okay.
I thought maybe you'd go out and put my name on one.
We ordered one from the county highway. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Jim? Laura?
Yeah, just one quick comment. So I appreciate your zero tolerance approach on the stop arm violations, and just wondering if that's getting out there in the media, so it's a reminder to all the public.
It is getting out there to the media. We had posted a posting on our Facebook page. I've obviously made the announcement of that here this morning for the public to hear, but I also was on some of the local radio stations as well, discussing just that in our zero tolerance approach regarding the stop arm violations. So we are getting the message out.
That's it. I just want to comment on the extra activity that the men and women of this department are participating in. You mentioned 2 of them. With the fair, I was out there quite a bit, and their presence out there was definitely noticed. They were constantly on the move, and I think that in itself gives a great peace of mind to the fair vendors that are out there, knowing that they're there. And so thank you to Captain Smythe for getting that worked out and getting everybody scheduled, and appreciate that. And then the the Great Lakes Grand Prix. I was had the privilege of being out there a couple days, and when you walk through the lot and see the it's not thousands, it's millions of dollars in property and boats and equipment and that these racers bring into Michigan City for the weekend. I mean, it's great entertainment. You know, it's phenomenal to watch them out there on the weekend. So, you know, I did talk to a couple of them that I had seen, that I was fortunate enough to know and recognize, and both of them made the comment about it was nice to have law enforcement presence out there to know that their equipment was going to be protected or safe, and so it allowed them to sleep better at night, not having to worry about it.
Absolutely, and not only that we have sheriff's deputies out there with security, but our Marine Patrol unit was out there as well too in full force. And you know, this is an event that has become the second largest sporting event in the state of Indiana, with the Indianapolis 500 being the largest. You know, we have hundreds of thousands of people at the lakefront, so it's no small task and it's no small feat to make sure that this event goes off without a hitch. And it's just not a one-day event. It's a several-day event with these large crowds coming up to our lakefront. So we definitely have a wonderful asset with Lake Michigan that sometimes we take for granted because it is in our backyard.
Absolutely, thank you. So I believe that was Captain Heineck that scheduled that details up there for the Grand Prix. So Captain, thank you for that. So that's all I have. Is there anything else for anybody want to say? May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Have a motion to have a second.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.